Hello and welcome to the M&M podcast. My name is Murray and I'm joined by my longtime friend and co-host of our channel, Mitchell. How you doing, Mitch?
Great, Murray. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, it is our channel, so, naturally we would do this together.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it.
This is our new podcast that we are basically starting to discuss various topics that interest us, both film, gaming, and music. So if you enjoy the content that you're hearing and you enjoy the topics that we talk about and various things like that, then please do give us a like and consider subscribing, because that helps us out. Yeah, and please don't be scared to share any comments or topics that you would like us to cover in the next episode. If we missed anything, please let us know. So without further ado, Mitchell, how about you kick us off with a bit of Endgame?
Ooh, okay. Alright, so I saw Endgame the Saturday it came out. So it came out Thursday evening, Friday, so that was a week ago. And I absolutely loved it. It's an amazing movie. It rounds off 10 years worth of films that Marvel's been making now for... Jeez, how many is it? Is it 21 or 22? I think this was either the 22nd or the 23rd film. But yeah, I mean, I've seen such a lot of movies in my life that I'm one of those people that you cannot ask me what my favorite movie is, because I would not be able to answer it. The easiest thing I could do is give you a list of maybe the top 10 films that are my favorite. But I can tell you that Avengers Endgame would have to appear on my top 5 list. That is how good it is. So, on Murray's side, there's a little bit of an interesting scenario, because I've seen it, and to date I'm completely caught up with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Murray has been recapping. Murray, how far did you get? You've seen everything excluding Endgame, obviously, but there was one or two you hadn't seen yet either. Which were they?
Yeah, I missed out on Doctor Strange. I must still watch that, actually. It's next on my list. I haven't really checked out the Hulk movies, because for some reason I just am not a big fan of the Hulk.
No, look,
which
I think
might irritate a couple of people.
Yeah, look, there is actually, I think there's only the one Hulk film. I'm talking about his standalone film, and it's actually one of the oldest ones, funnily enough. I think it was the second one.
I remember
Iron Man 1
came out ages ago.
Yeah, Iron Man came out, and then I don't know if it was the same year or the following year that Incredible Hulk came out, and it was not a bad movie. It was okay, but nobody seems to really think very highly of it. I think most people just tend to kind of forget about it. His character was great in the Avengers movies. I can't actually remember if he was in Civil War. I don't think so. Oh, because no, in Age of Ultron, his character leaves Earth, so he wasn't there for Civil War, and then he comes back again in Thor Ragnarok, and then comes back to Earth.
Oh, that's cool.
So you did see Infinity War, though, right?
Yes, yeah, amazing film.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, a bit of a bleak ending, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, very grim. Yeah, but it leaves you wanting more, and it was quite tragic, that ending. It left everyone at the edge of their seats, essentially. But I mean, we all kind of knew that they were gonna sort of come back, I guess. But then again, I haven't seen Endgame, so I don't actually know.
Okay, and you haven't had any plot points spoiled for you as of yet?
Not a single bit, yeah.
Okay, so very, very quickly, not having seen Avengers or not having had anything spoiled, what would your predictions be for Endgame?
Well, I mean,
even if it's your pet likes, like what do you want out of the movie?
Well, I mean, like deep down, my thoughts are that you want Thanos to really get it, get the living hell beaten out of him. But at the same time, you also, for me, I'm the kind of person that likes the dark side, if you know what I mean.
Uh-huh.
Because I feel like there's always a reason behind those actions. So,
Sure.
you know, I want to see a nice conclusion for Thanos, but also for the heroes of the Avengers. I'm hoping that some people die,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm also, hoping that everything has a good strong conclusion, and that just
Alright.
generally the storytelling doesn't disappoint.
Okay. All right. I'm not gonna comment on anything you just said. Nope.
Well, I
I
hope
can't even.
not.
I can't even say whether or not I think you'll enjoy it or not because even that'll probably give things away. So, nope. Lip sealed. Not saying anything. Let me just ask you when are you gonna watch the damn film?
well, probably when it comes out on Netflix. Yeah.
No, bullshit. No, and it's not coming out on Netflix, by the way. I just read today
Yeah.
that it's exclusively going to be streamed on Disney's new streaming service when it launches.
Okay. Well. Yeah. Look, I mean, I'm planning to when I've got some time freed up, I'm planning to go and check it out probably within the next week or so. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, I can tell you that I checked this morning, and it is today I think the 9th. Yeah, the 9th of May, 2019. It has passed Infinity War and Star Wars The Force Awakens and Titanic. So it is currently the number 2 highest grossing worldwide movie of all time.
So
The only film left for it to beat is Avatar.
Avatar.
It's still running a little bit behind,
Yeah.
but I don't know, it's only in its second week, so I think it conceivably could catch Avatar.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it was on Monday. It was sitting at 2.2 billion US dollars.
Yeah,
Is that correct?
that's right.
So, and you said how much is it sitting at now?
It's sitting a little under 2.3.
Okay. And I think Avatar was 2.6. Or...
No, it's just under, if not around 2.8. So it's still got about
Oh, wow.
500 million left to go. But the interesting thing about how this movie's performing though is it's doing phenomenally well overseas. So like here in South Africa, for instance, places like China, Europe, and that. Its performance locally in America doesn't seem to be so great. I don't know if there's going to be a late surge, or if America's just decided they're not into these movies anymore. But
that wouldn't surprise
I find
me,
that
I
a bit
guess.
surprising.
Yeah. I mean, the hero thing for a lot of people is done, and has been killed. But yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to see if it does make a comeback there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
I'm just
makes me
surprised-
wonder why Avatar was so successful to begin with.
It's because it was the advent of the 3D film. Avatar was the very first one.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, but I just wonder that because you are right about the superhero genre. I think it is a little exhausted now. But I mean,
Yeah.
if anything, Endgame is like the culmination of like 2 decades worth of the superhero genre being extremely popular. I mean, if there was one movie you had to watch before, if it was the last one you watched, it should be Endgame. So again,
Yeah.
I don't know why the Yanks aren't digging this film. I mean, it's not that they're not liking it. It's just, I mean, by the way, this film is scoring incredibly well on the critical
Yes.
sites. So critically speaking, it's garnering a lot of acclaim. So no complaints there. But financially, yeah, it's just like America's choosing not to go to the cinema to watch this, and I don't know why. I can't explain it.
Yeah, I'm not particularly sure myself. Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one, definitely.
So okay, so on the topic of things given to us by Lord Disney, we have Star Wars. So
May he ever be so powerful, Lord Disney.
the Lord Marshal, Supreme Allied Commander Disney himself.
Yes,
He looks
and
down upon us.
He shall name his son Archie. Yes.
Yeah. So quickly, just because we've never spoken about, this is our first podcast, so we've never spoken about anything before. How did you feel about The Last Jedi?
Well, yeah, not particularly great. For me, it wasn't a terrible film by any means. I think sometimes people blow it out of context.
Yeah.
But it was a good film, There were a lot of plot holes, just little things that sort of really didn't work out for me in the greater scheme of the Star Wars universe. For example, I really didn't enjoy the casino scene.
Right. You and everyone else.
Yeah, it's just because it makes absolutely no sense. This isn't Ocean's 11 or something. It's Star Wars. We want the Star Wars vibe.
And yet, remember you. Sorry, just remember you said that when you watch Avengers Endgame.
Okay.
Carry on.
Yeah, no, I mean that's basically it. I also wasn't particularly happy with the way they handled Mark Hamill's character, Luke Skywalker,
Right.
just in his whole ending, I suppose. Assuming that he doesn't make it back in the next film, which I'm quite sure he's not, but it looks like Palpatine's coming back, so I mean, you never know. But yeah, I mean, overall, for me, it was an average Star Wars film,
Okay. Yeah, I have extremely, extremely mixed feelings on The Last Jedi. For me, it's... by the way, by that I mean that there's a part of me that loves that film. I really love the risks it took, and while, a lot of people aren't happy with some of the, the subverted expectations moments, like Rey's parents were nobody, and Snoke dies midway through the film, and Luke is an old curmudgeon who hates his life and hates everyone, and all the surprises and twists they were going for that people hate. I actually really I like that sort of enthusiasm that went into the film. For me, the issues aren't actually the plot holes. For me, it's actually more of the missed opportunities. That's always going to be the failure of The Last Jedi. There's such a lot of little things that really would have, even with the same story, with the same structure, would have just kind of made the story stand out a bit more and been a little bit more satisfying. But I'm not going to...
Can you give us an example for that?
Okay.
Just one example.
For instance, for the big surprise ending that Luke was never on, I don't know what that planet's called, where the final battle takes place, on the ground. That it was actually his Force spirit, it was a out-of-body astral projection thing. That really
was
kind
lame.
of... no, you know what? For me, that actually worked really well. I loved that, except it was badly executed. There should have been an entire lock and load scene on the planet where he was actually, the Jedi planet. I forget. Oh, Actu.
Yeah.
His little island. There should have been a scene where Rey left. He has his little thing with Yoda, and he makes this decision. Where he says you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna save the galaxy now. And then he goes into his old little hut there and grabs his old Jedi apparel, digs up whatever, finds his old green lightsaber and says, "This is my true weapon." And then even walks out to the cliff there where, if eagle-eyed fans would have spotted his X-Wing down in the ocean, where he even kind of looks down at his X-Wing, and this would have just given me such goosebumps had they done it, where he looks down at his X-Wing in the ocean there, and doesn't try to move it, but the last thing we see Luke do is kind of smile, out of the corner of his eye, bitch, please, I don't need an X-Wing, and then later on we see Luke arrive, and he shouldn't have looked younger, because that already spoiled it. That he should have looked like himself, but maybe with his old self, wearing his old regal Jedi robes with his green lightsaber, and he walks out onto the battlefield. And since they made it clear that he was powerful enough to project himself, they should have had him fight Kylo Ren. They should have had him at least block his lightsabers a few times, and make it really fool us into believing that Luke is there fighting Kylo Ren. And then at the end of all of it, when Ren tries to stab him and it just goes straight through him, and we think, what, he wasn't there, and then we see Luke sitting on his cliffside there, at the end of his life. That's a missed opportunity. They just executed that so badly.
Yeah, I guess they just didn't execute it well. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The whole thing for me, that particular scene just seemed like it wasn't well thought out. But it did have something going for it, you know. Yeah. I mean, part of me just wanted to see an actual fight between Luke and Kylo Ren,
Yeah.
just to see, you know, who's the guy here, you know.
Yeah.
Something similar to the effect of Obi-Wan and Anakin from Revenge of the Jedi. Sorry, not Revenge
Sure.
of the Jedi.
Of the Sith, yeah.
Yeah, Revenge of the Sith. That's right.
But
I
you
guess
see
we
right
will
there,
get
so-
that with Kylo Ren and Rey, I suppose.
Sure, yeah. But there
Yeah.
again, see, like, that's why I think they should have actually had a fight scene
Yeah.
in Last
I
Jedi. They
agree.
should have, in that final part there, I mean, Luke is kind of dodging his swings and blows from his lightsaber.
Yeah.
To the point that it's so blatantly obvious that Luke is just not there. Whereas he should have actually really put up a fight, you know. He should have not just blocked Kylo Ren's attacks, but he should have actually like messed with him, like just trolled him, like force pushed him around and, you know, tripped him and kicked him down on the floor, you know, to really just stamp that like Kylo Ren was actually not on Luke's level, you know. And that for me would have made Luke's sacrifice so much more impactful, because he actually humiliates Ren and he wasn't even there. But still the illusion is created that Luke died, because he does actually die. But he's not killed by Kylo Ren. He kind of dies and becomes one with the Force, you know. It would have made starting the next film, you know, so much more powerful, you know, because we're starting on such a high, you know, because the film ends with the little kids on the casino planet kind of talking about the legend, you know. Oh, yeah, Luke Skywalker faced the entire army on his own, you know, and he beat them back so the rebels could escape, you know. It just kind of makes that story worth nothing, you know, the way it played out.
Yeah. No, it's at the end of the day, it just didn't really work out for me. Yeah. And
Yeah.
for a lot
So-
of people, I guess, you know.
Sure. So, your expectations for the Rise of Skywalker? What do you want out of that film to be satisfied?
I have no idea. I want to be surprised.
That's a good answer. That's cool.
You know, I haven't, to be honest with you, I haven't thought too much about it, just because I don't. For me, one of the biggest problems with the film industries and even gaming, especially gaming, actually, is that one tends to hype oneself up, and then you end up being disappointed. You know,
Yeah.
like sometimes you're not disappointed, you know, and sometimes it goes down really well, but often it's the other way around, and that's something that I've just learned. I need to back off from things and just, you know, think like a child. You know, when you're a child, you don't really expect too much from something. You just go and watch a film, and it's something you remember, or you don't. You know, but now in our sort of adult lives, you know, we want certain things to happen just to, you know, stay true to the story, and I just don't want to overhype myself. Yeah. But I would love to see a massive battle. I'm a sucker for big battles. I'm excited to see what they do with Palpatine, assuming that he is in. But I think we all basically know that he is.
Well, yeah, not really.
He could be
It's
also a sort of hologram or whatever.
Or a ghost or something.
A ghost, yeah.
The rumors I've been following now this past week are that actor Matt Smith has been cast in an unknown role, and the rumors going around that he is going to be, I guess, either a younger version of Palpatine or maybe like a reincarnated or cloned version.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that rumor. That's pretty cool. The other
that
rumor
is
that
cool.
I've been following is, which I also like, is that there will be a third enemy in this film, which becomes the main sort of villain of the film, and it's something or someone that we haven't seen before. So
Okay.
I guess
like maybe a Sith, some kind of Sith or bounty
I don't
hunter,
know.
maybe.
No, it would be something really seriously powerful. I know. Look, I don't want to go into the expanded universe. The old canon before it was erased by Disney. But I remember there was a lot of literature devoted to this, the species, I think, or this empire called I don't think I'm pronouncing this right, but the Yuzhang Vong. That was, and they
Okay.
became like the main villains in the expanded universe for quite a while. You know, that it kind of forced the Republic, the old hatreds like the Jedi and Sith, to kind of put aside their nonsense, you know. And I kind of wonder if they're not going to go for something like that, you know, that the movie will start with, you know, the First Order versus the Resistance. Kylo Ren's heading the First Order, and the little rebels are still kind of doing their thing. And then midway through the film, something huge happens, and all of a sudden, everything's changed. So now, Kylo Ren and Rey have got to kind of like put aside their differences and kind of work together. I think I might enjoy something like that. That's cool. A complete subversion of expectation, you know. So
yeah, but at the same time, I mean, you know, it's cool to think about these things, because at the end of the day, they clearly thought about various things that didn't work out in the previous film, you know, and you know, they could go wild, you know, and really make this quite something awesome, you know.
Yeah.
But they have to. If they don't, it could really upset the Star Wars franchise, you know.
I guess the two things I say that I'm not looking forward to, that I hope are not in the film, is I don't want there to be another Death Star or anything like that. No big super world-sized weapon.
Yeah, it's a bit lame now.
It's a bit old now. Yeah, they need to stop doing that.
Well, if anything, we know that we're going to see a crashed Death Star, or at least a piece of it.
Yeah. So so there will be a Death Star actually, which I'm okay with in that case. No, that Death Star is fine. Yeah, that's the old one. The other thing is, just kind of generally speaking, I don't want it to play out like Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
So I don't want it to be structured in that way. In terms of like the meta structure of the movie, like the overall plot and the character arcs, I want it to go somewhere surprising, somewhere that I just am not familiar with.
You know, my one thing is, are they going to set up a new trilogy, or how are they going to do it? Are they going to close it off? Is that going to be the end? I mean, I doubt it. You know, it will never really be the end of Star Wars. But what are they going to do? Are they going to close this chapter and that is it for Rey and Kylo and those guys, or are they going to set up a new trilogy? You know, where everyone is now older and there's new villains and new characters.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And the Millennium Falcon. I
don't think so. Yeah, I mean, the Falcon will always be there, I guess. Unless they actually go as far as to destroy it in this film, which would be, I guess, quite a dramatic thing to have happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, as from what I've read and from the public statements and the planning and that, is that they want to end the Skywalker saga with this film. So I imagine they'll leave certain plot points up in the air, like for instance, if there is a new race of, or like a body, an institution of villains, they'll probably leave them there so that if they want to go back and tell a future story with them, that'll be cool. The other rumor that I'm kind of also intrigued by is that relates to the title itself, The Rise of Skywalker, because there's a prominent rumor going around that Skywalker doesn't actually refer to any of the characters, that Skywalker actually refers to a new type of Jedi, because the Jedi have their flaws, you know, their hermit lifestyles, they're not allowed to form attachments, not allowed to love, all that stuff, which basically led to their downfall. So the theory goes now that a new type of Jedi will be created that are more, I guess, open to forming bonds and connections and love and things like that, like the Grey Jedi or whatever, and they won't be called Jedi anymore, they'll be called Skywalkers.
Yeah. But that would be cool.
Kind of cool, yeah.
I mean, that would sort of remind me of that old game Jedi Academy, you know, where Luke is running an academy. I suppose they still were teaching them in the old ways, but...
Not really though, hey, because that sort of, it forms part of that old expanded universe. And if you've ever like read any of the books or the comics or whatever the games, played any of the games, the expanded universe had Jedi characters marrying other characters, having children.
Right.
They had families, and so it feels like even the expanded universe kind of righted that wrong, you know, from the prequel trilogy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it would be cool in the canon now to sort of address that.
Maybe in this movie we'll see Kyle Katarn.
Wouldn't that be fantastic?
Oh man, if only they would just include damn Kyle Katarn. I think everyone would be so happy, but
he needs his own movie though. He needs like Katarn, a Star Wars tale, a Star Wars story.
Once an outcast, soon a Jedi.
Yeah. Actually, sorry, I take it back. It should be Katarn, the Star Wars story.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be cool, man. Look, either way, I'm gonna enjoy the film. Yeah, and I just hope that it lives up to expectations. But at the same time, I'm not hyping myself up. I don't want to be disappointed.
No, that's probably wise. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess on the topic of Star Wars and things upcoming, there is also Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh yeah.
By EA.
Yeah.
And
something I'm looking forward to.
So what do you think about that?
Well, at the same time, I'm not too sure. You know, I saw the trailer for the new film, and then a couple of days, or basically a day after.
You mean the cinematic trailer for the game?
No, I mean I saw the trailer for Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, I see. Sorry. Okay.
And then basically, I think it was a day or maybe 2 days after we saw the cinematic trailer for Fallen Order. I mean, the story looks good. You know, I've always been intrigued by that. You know, by the tales of the Jedi after they had fallen, and because we all knew that, you know, some of them had lived. So yeah, I'm intrigued by this. You know, basically the guy is living as a, I mean, what do you call it, like an outcast or a sort of like, you know, he's just being hunted the whole time, and that looks intriguing. I'm interested to see what characters they bring into the story, if they do, from the movies. You know, are we going to see Yoda, for example? Are we going to maybe see Obi-Wan? Are we going to maybe see, you know, Mandalorians? That's something I'd love to see. Darth Vader, yeah. I know that we saw one of the what do they call
the Inquisitors,
The Inquisitors, yes, yeah. And so that looked pretty cool. There was another character in the trailer. They didn't really give her a name, I don't think. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. The other thing that I'm really looking forward to seeing, and I'm hoping that we get a bit of it at E3 this year, is some gameplay. Now, gameplay for me is really interesting because I'm not sure how they're going with that. I am expecting to see something similar to God of War that released last year, and secretly I'm kind of hoping for it to be a Jedi Academy, Jedi Outcast kind of situation.
Yeah. So action adventure,
yeah. But I do want some level of RPG mechanic. You know, I want to work with a skill tree, maybe. You know, but I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. The one thing that I don't want from it is for it to be a Force Unleashed game.
Yeah.
That sort of arcade style.
Yeah, it's a hack and slash. Yeah.
I'm really not into that, and so I just hope it's not like that. But yeah, I mean, in terms of gameplay, it just needs to. For me, I enjoy in-depth gameplay mechanics where, you know, you've got to work with a bit of gear. You know, maybe not too much. You know, it needn't be something like World of Warcraft style or or the Old Republic.
We've already got that. Yeah, we've got the Old Republic. So
yeah, so it really doesn't need to be like that. And for the love of God, don't put in loot crates. Because it's EA, and we all know that EA is good at messing it up.
Yeah.
You know, you can have a purple lightsaber for $5, you know. No thanks. Like, I'm just not into that. So, yeah, and I mean, the last thing for me really is the story. You know, the story needs to be in-depth. Also, not short. Like, you know, it can be drawn out a bit, you know. Anything from 8 hours plus is good for me, you know.
Yeah.
Anything less, and I'm just not sure if it's worth $60. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you?
Well, from my side, I'm looking forward to the gameplay only, really. The story, to be honest, doesn't interest me at all. The story's already kind of been done in The Force Unleashed, and that was a game. On the other hand, Star Wars Rebels kind of told that story quite nicely. Kind of like a Jedi in hiding after the Jedi Purge. Who kind of rediscovers his Jedihood again and re-embraces it and whatever. I mean, that story's already been told, and for me, by the way, that was kind of like... Initially, I was a bit disappointed. There was rumors of this Jedi game coming out, and then, what did they do? They just chucked it right in there again between episode 3 and 4, and my initial knee-jerk reaction was like, oh, again? Can't they do something, there's like a 20 or 30 year gap between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. That has hardly been filled at all. Can't they put a story there? Like, set a game after Return of the Jedi. That's, it can even if it's it centers around a main character who is a Jedi survivor from the Purge, but after the fall of the Empire,
Yes. Well, the only thing that would save that for me is if the character, what is his name, this guy, the protagonist?
Oh, I don't know. I saw it, but I can't remember it.
Yeah, I can't remember either. The only thing that would save it for me is that, essentially, if he was actually a student, or not a student, but a Padawan or whatever, training at the temple, and you as a Jedi actually go through the escape of that and then go into hiding, that it doesn't just start that you're now suddenly in hiding, or that you are suddenly born one day after all of these events and are now force sensitive or whatever, because like you say, that's been done. But what does interest me is if he was actually a part of all of that stuff going down in episode 3 and whatnot, the Clone Wars, and was around during that time, and now we get to experience his story of going from that to, essentially going into hiding, and then at some point coming back out again, Yeah. I know we kind of have that already with Obi-Wan, essentially, but at the same time, we don't really have, we've never had a film or anything detailing what Obi-Wan was doing. Yet.
We might still get
not one. Yet. Yeah, that is true. Because, I mean, there's a lot of theories going around that, Obi-Wan was just simply sitting on Tatooine watching over Luke. But at the same time, that doesn't really make a lot of sense, He must have been up to something, and I think he went back to Mandalore.
Well, he killed Darth Maul one night, around a campfire.
Yeah, that is true, yeah.
So he got some stuff done,
Yeah. No, for sure, yeah.
But yeah, I guess we'll find out at E3. See what the gameplay reveal looks like.
Yeah, so, well, leading into E3, upcoming games that we are excited about. Well, there's quite a bit happening here. E3 is happening over the month of June, if I'm not mistaken, and something that's quite interesting about this year is that Sony is not going to be there after 24 years, which is quite intense.
Yeah.
And also, apparently EA won't be holding a conference this year, so that is quite interesting. However, I'm pretty sure that EA will be showcasing Fallen Order and whatever else they might have in the pipeline during the Microsoft conference. Now, bearing that in mind, Microsoft has actually come out and said that this conference is going to be their biggest yet, and I guess the reason why they're saying that is because they want to capitalize on Sony not being there, their biggest competition. So, yeah, that's going to be quite interesting. But yeah, things that we're looking forward to from E3 this year. Well, for me, the biggest one will probably be Cyberpunk. I'm extremely excited about that.
Oh yeah,
just because I'm an RPG fanatic and I like the idea of an RPG first-person shooter as well, especially coming from like Borderlands and that kind of thing. And I'm also extremely excited to potentially see more about Beyond Good and Evil 2 from Ubisoft.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been
What do
liking
you
the
like about
trailers
that?
so far. I mean, I never played the first one, so when I saw the trailer for the second one, I was kind of, that was my introduction to that franchise, and it just pulled me in. You know, I don't know what the story is exactly, but it looks intriguing. Like you've got human animals. You've got like a monkey and a pig, and there's a huge carrier spaceship, and there's pirates and mercenaries, and next thing there's a ship that's 50, 100 times even bigger that's about to attack them, and it's it's epic. The trailer the trailer won me over. So whoever made that trailer, good job.
Yeah. Look, I do think that game is a far ways out, just because Ubisoft has come out and has said, the scale, it's just huge.
Yeah.
So I would say we might see a release for that game probably around 2021, 22, maybe.
That far away, huh?
Well, it depends. It depends on various things like development time and whatnot. But I think probably around then. It's just the way the industry goes. Guys that are making good games these days, like Cyberpunk, for example, people think it might be coming out this year. I am secretly hoping it does, but probably only next year. So that's Beyond Good and Evil 2, and I'm also looking forward to some news on Bethesda's Starfield. I just want to see a bit more on what's going on there. They haven't really shown much. There's also Elder Scrolls 6, not one of my favorite game franchises around. I'm more of a Fallout guy, but yeah, that's also there, and I would be keen to see what happens there. Yeah. Anything in particular that you're looking forward to, Mitch?
Look, I mean, we both know you're the gamer of the two of us, so I don't really look forward to that many games. I've checked out the list at E3. I didn't even recognize 90% of them, but the two things I am interested in for the moment, which one of them is coming out hopefully soon, but probably won't be at E3. More likely be at BlizzCon, is Warcraft 3 Reforged.
Okay, yeah. I'm also quite keen on that.
Yeah, I'm absolutely going to buy that, and I will play the hell out of that. I'm really looking forward to that. And another franchise that I'm always kind of every so often looking into if there's any news on it or rumors or anything is the Arkham franchise. So
yeah.
I don't know if Warner Brothers Montreal or Square Enix or whoever's working on it now, who's kind of taken the reins of that franchise, has got anything in the pipeline. But I'm always kind of hoping at the back of my mind that, come E3 there might be a bit of a little surprise video or an announcement or something regarding that. So we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully. Maybe a remaster of Arkham Asylum. Who knows? Yeah. I would like that. Really enjoyed that game. Yeah. Okay, well that's our games that we're looking forward to, and hopefully we get to see a lot of it. E3 is around the corner, and we would strongly recommend checking out the Microsoft conference, just because it looks like they've got quite a lot of exciting stuff happening. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. The next thing to chat about is Borderlands 3.
Oh yeah, you've been playing that, haven't you? Not the 3, but the 2, I think.
Well, I wish I was playing 3, but yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I've been playing. I've been posting I've only posted one so far, but I've been revisiting Borderlands 2.
Okay.
Sort of with excitement for 3.
Sure.
So if you're interested in checking that out, we've got a Let's Play series that's just started, and part 1 is currently up on the channel. But they showed a bit of the gameplay for Borderlands 3 at an event in, I think it was Hollywood, and the game looks great. Graphics look superb. It still looks like Borderlands, which is something that I'm really stoked about.
I was just going to ask, so they've kept that kind of cartoony vibe about it.
Yes, yeah. But of course, with today's engineering, with graphics and things like that, it looks, yeah, probably about 20 times as good. So that's exciting. In terms of gameplay, it looks pretty much the same. There are a few pretty big differences, but in terms of core gameplay, it's the same. You play with a character that you choose, and that character has a set number of skills that they're good at using, and it's pretty stock standard. They have added what looks like 2 different sort of skill paths, so you don't just have one active ability, but you actually now have 3, which is cool, and that sort of makes it a bit more exciting. But other than that, one of the big things that I really liked was the idea of loot instancing, which essentially means that a person can be level 10 and they invite their friend who's level 25. The level 25 joins the game, and all the enemies will be scaled to the level 25 player on their side, but on the level 10 player's side, he's still shooting at level 10 enemies, for example.
Wow.
So it's still a challenge for each person. It's not like the level 25 player comes into the game and suddenly they're, one-shotting these level 10 enemies. So that's quite neat. And on top of that, they've also essentially instanced all the loot. So whatever gun you pick up will be tailored to your level. So just because you've joined a level 10 players game, you're not going to suddenly be picking up level 10 guns. No, you will be picking up level 25 guns, which is it's something that's really awesome, because it incentivizes the idea that people of higher levels can play with people of lower levels, and I think that's really awesome. Yeah. Other than that, we haven't really seen too much more. One other big thing is that there's multiple planets now, so you're not just staying on the planet Pandora, but you can actually move around to different planets, and your sort of home base is your ship, which is awesome. Yeah, and you've got all your vendors and various things like that on this ship, and it's like your hub essentially. But bearing in mind that this game is very tailored towards solo play and co-op play. There is no it's not like Destiny and Division where you have like a social hub area. The hub area is just your personal hub area. Yeah. But other than that, that's Borderlands. Borderlands 3, and that's coming out September the 13th of this year. So we're quite excited about that. And again, we're hoping no microtransactions, although I do believe there will be microtransactions for cosmetic items, just no loot boxes.
Sure.
Because people don't like gambling, which I would agree with, yeah. Don't need that in my games. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but that's Borderlands 3. And there's a lot of excitement around it. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I also just wanted to throw in a quick report regarding Dota. If anyone plays that, Dota 2, the online MOBA, that their battle pass have just dropped, which I was checking out last night. It actually looks really great. I bought myself one last year, and I had quite a bit of fun with it actually. They've added a lot of new mechanics this year. Even, funny enough, even some in-game mechanics, like you can. Once you've got the battle pass, you get a shovel, which, while you're playing any game of Dota, you can actually stop and dig for essentially like a little loot crate or something. I don't think it costs you anything. It's just you can randomly just stop and dig, and maybe you'll find something, maybe you won't.
That's quite cool, I guess.
But yeah, a lot of great stuff in there. Actually, there's a new terrain with weather effects and everything that I'm really super excited about. So yeah, battle pass.
Yes, they're taking loot boxes one step further. You gotta dig for them now. You don't just get them. You gotta go dig for that treasure that you might not actually get or want.
Yeah, but then again, you might actually get it. You might find the little baby Roshan that's made of gold and titanium or whatever.
And you said there were some changes to the map, I think you mentioned.
No, not changes the terrain. So there's a terrain skin that is I can't remember exactly now what it's called, but it's got a very interesting theme. It's like some kingdom of something, and there are some cool weather effects like rain I saw.
I'm
Trees look pretty cool. There's
yeah.
I think there's like a swamp effect as well, because there's something to do with monsoon. So I guess when it rains, then it'll have like mud effects on the ground and things like that. And I think on the trees too.
Okay, that's cool. All right, yeah. Well, Dota 2, still exciting, I guess. Yeah. So we're gonna.
And what other games? Yeah. What other games are coming out?
Yeah, well, we're gonna go into some new releases here for games and film. In terms of games for the month of May, not too much. We've got Team Sonic Racing, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, May the 21st. Which is cool. I know that Team Sonic Racing has a bit of a cult following. Rage 2 on May the 14th for PS4, Xbox One, PC. Little Friends, Dogs and Cats, May the 28th on Switch, if anyone is interested in that. I know that I am. Darkwood
See, I don't even know if you're serious. Like, it was, I mean, it could be a great game. Like, maybe give it a try.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah. or am I? No, I'm kidding. In fact, I don't have a date yet for some reason, but we've got Darkwood, which is coming to the Switch. So quite a few Switch games actually. And then the final game is Ghost Giant Retail for PlayStation VR on May the 7th, which is... Oh wait, no, actually that's already come out. It came out 2 days ago, so yeah. If you own a PSVR, maybe you want to check that one out, yeah. And for film, Mitch, what do you reckon?
Yeah. I was just going to say, I think the only name I recognized in any of those titles was Sonic. The rest, I'll probably give all of those a skip. So a couple of big movies coming out this month. We've got Aladdin by Disney, the live-action remake. That's an interesting one for me because, well, I'm interested to see if they do anything different with it. Because I kind of, not all of them, but Disney with some of their live-action movies, or remakes I should call them, they've been using the opportunity to fill some old plot holes and even kind of update the stories, so it's a little bit more socially acceptable and politically correct, I guess. But I mean, they've done it in creative ways, so it's actually kind of nice when they get it right. As opposed to something like Lion King, which I don't know, all the trailers I've seen so far just it looks like a CGI remake of the original, which I just don't see the point eventually. But I'm curious to see if they're gonna do anything new with Aladdin. I saw I don't know. I'm assuming it was a new trailer or like a repaired, a fixed, updated trailer of Aladdin when I watched Endgame, and it actually looked pretty decent. The first trailer I saw, which was probably about a month before that, Will Smith did not look good as the genie. Now, assuming they've changed that, when I saw the trailer now when I watched Endgame, he actually looks pretty cool now. He just looks less cartoon-like. He looks kind of just more realistic now, which I kind of like.
Which is something that we hope and pray is going to happen for the new Sonic movie. I'm just casually throwing that in there. Yeah. Let's move on, because that's a topic I don't really want to talk about.
The calamity of Sonic. Oh gosh, we'll see what they do with it. But so I guess the other sort of big franchise title is Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
Okay.
I don't know. You might want to say something about that because I've never been into Pokemon. I know you kind of were into it, I think, in school or whatever.
I was just into the games, not the show. I'm just not a big fan. Yeah. Okay. I think the story is pretty bland. which I'm probably going to get a bit of hate for, but yeah, I don't know. It's just the games are cool because it's a strong RPG.
Sure.
It's some really great mechanics, but yeah, the show and the series, it's just I guess it's just not for me. Yeah.
Nah, not for me either. So the two big titles I am most definitely looking forward to. The first is John Wick 3, which is coming out in a few weeks' time. I think it's sort of the second last week of the month.
That is going to be good.
I only got into the series with the second movie. So the first John Wick film I watched was number 2, and I was completely blown away by it. It's wow, it's incredible. It's so over the top. I mean, it's not Quentin Tarantino over the top, but I mean, there's such gratuitous killing and fighting and murdering and stabbing and frickin' just the movie just doesn't sort of take a breather, you know. In fact, sorry, no, it does. It takes a blatant breather when, you know, their fighting spills over into the hotel. And I love how they're having this like fight to the death, and a bartender comes over and says, "Excuse me, you know, you've entered the hotel grounds. Please obey the rules and stop fighting and have a drink." You know, they're like, "Oh, sorry, how bad?" You know, yeah, man, let me buy you a drink. Next time I see you, I'm gonna kill you. But cheers, you know. So, no, it's cool, man. Cheers, yeah. I'll kill you too. Check you later.
Those are great moments.
I mean, what a film. So yeah, I'm actually quite amped to see where this one goes, especially now that he's been excommunicadoed from the firm or the Brotherhood or whatever they call themselves, the Assassin's Guild. So yeah, looking forward to that one. The big one I'm looking forward to, this one unfortunately I couldn't help it, I'm just super hyped, is Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Awesome. Yeah, that is something that I'm quite amped on too.
Yeah,
that is, it's gonna be cool.
They've done such an amazing job with creating hype in the trailers that have been released. Although I will say I'm kind of sick of them using these cheesy old they're not just orchestral, but these old cheese songs like Somewhere Over the Rainbow and Claire de Lune. They need to stop that now. Like, it's getting ridiculous. In fact, trailers need to stop. They need a reboot. There needs to be a trailer reboot where somebody just does a new type of trailer. Because I'm sick of hearing double piano octaves in, you know, starting every trailer.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
Twing, twing, twing. I'm sick of it. They need to stop that nonsense.
For those of you that were concerned about what you just heard, that was Mitchell singing. That we hope you enjoyed that. Yeah. like I did. Yeah.
Yeah. That was my airport jingle. You know.
You can expect a lot more of that.
We speak the language of jazz here at Dial M, don't we, Murray?
Yes. Yeah.
Lots of skadooby-doobies and scoobity-bop-bop-bows and whatever.
Yeah, and I'm sorry if you're a jazz vocalist for that. That terrible. What do you call it? Diction? Is that the right name? For that terrible scatting there by Mitch. But moving swiftly forward, any other films that we're looking forward to?
No. Just to wrap up Godzilla, I'm really looking forward to. God, I've actually forgotten the names of the monsters now. But the worst one, the Godire, something like that. But the three-headed thing that's the worst villain out of all of them. I mean, he looks incredible in the trailer. So I'm really amped. I'm excited, and some good actors in there as well. Actually, I was quite surprised at how many like recognizable names. I mean, the last couple of MonsterVerse films had like, you know, one or two good actors. I guess Kong had a few, had 3 or 4 good actors, but I was really surprised at the stellar cast they've got assembled for this film.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Oh, what dates did you say it drops?
Oh, that's the very last day of the month. That, I believe, is May 31st.
Ah, a nice little present at the end.
Yeah, little June spoiler.
Awesome. Okay, well, I guess that is podcast number 1 of the M&M podcasts from Dial M Media. We hope you enjoyed, and if you stuck around till the end, please do consider leaving a like and a comment, even if it's just saying hi. We would love to hear from you guys. Otherwise, leave us a comment, and maybe, if we missed any particular topic that you would like us to cover on the next one, please don't be shy. And Mitch.
Yeah, please don't hesitate to tell us if we got anything wrong. I know the YouTube comment section loves to do that. So, any facts or dates or names or anything that we mispronounced or got wrong, please just let us know. We really want to know those things.
And we also appreciate dislikes, just to see some interaction. But that is it for today. Yeah, and Mitch, we could probably, should we say if we're gonna do this maybe bi-weekly, or just depending on the news, I guess. If there's enough to talk about, we'll talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're releasing other content as well, so I guess it also depends on when we find time to do a podcast.
Yeah.
We'll try and keep it pretty regular.
Yeah, so currently on our channel we've got some jingle transcriptions that Mitch has been working hard at. We've been posting some videos from a live big band gig that we were involved in, and I've also started the Borderlands Let's Play. So check us out if you enjoy what we do, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Cheers. Bye.